So, Doctor, to dive deep into this question about growth and the Asia Pacific, where does the IMF see the Asia Pacific in terms of growth, given the fact there's a volatile geopolitical situation taking place, given the war in Ukraine and Russia, and now Iran and Israel, and also the reciprocal tariff saga brought about by the US?
So the Asia Pacific region has always been, for us, one of the sources for global growth, especially if you look at emerging markets in Asia. But the recent developments that we've seen, for instance, on tariffs and trade policy, have a particularly negative effect on Asia, because Asia is very exposed to global trade. In addition, as you said, there have been developments in now the Middle East. What may happen to oil prices, we'll have to wait and see. But conflicts around the world, geoeconomic fragmentation, all of that has implications for growth in the region. In April, we downgraded growth for the region to 4%. So last year growth was 4.6%. We have it at 4% for this year. But I just have to say that there's tremendous uncertainty around our numbers because the policies are constantly shifting. A lot is going to depend upon where the tariffs ultimately settle for different countries. For example, in Sri Lanka, the April 2nd proposed tariffs were very high at 44%. The question is, we'll have to wait and see where it finally settles. And I know there are good negotiations going on at this moment. But again, this is a time when countries in Asia are, quite concerned about what all the trade policy implications are for their region. I think it's a good time for them to focus also on regional integration, where much more can be done.
Doctor, touching on what you said, the negativity that we're seeing around the world. So do you think that this negativity will have an impact on South Asia, where we will see some kind of debt distress?
South Asia specifically, if you look at the countries over here, so Sri Lanka just went through a debt restructuring, which is pretty much close to complete at this point. If I think of the other countries in the region, if you look at Bangladesh, Bhutan, Nepal, all of them suffer kind of moderate to high risk of debt distress. So again, South Asia as a region has several countries that have elevated levels of debt. Now, this is not specific to just South Asia, because if you look at the trend more globally, since 2019, debt levels have gone up everywhere because you had the pandemic, you had the energy crisis. So most countries have ended up building up debt. And growth looking ahead does not look that strong. So that's not a great place to be for many countries in the world, and puts them in somewhat a vulnerable position.